trouble, ruin, ask Alma. Evil, do it, ask Alma. I'm for you, ask Alma. Are you down, feeling low? Are trials weighing heavy on your mind? I know a place we can go. Sit back and unwind. Grab a seat, put up your feet, and we'll ask Alma. Ask her anything. She has a certain flair for being tough, but always fair. So if you need someone who cares, ask Alma. Problems big or small, she has the answers to them all. So drop your questions, have them solved by Alma. You can ask her anything. Trouble, ruin, ask Alma. Evil, do it, ask Alma. I'm for you, ask Alma.
Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ask Alma. You don't have to adjust your screen. You're at the right place. It's the right time. My name is Courtney, and I'm here guest hosting once again for Alma. Everybody that's here, just come on in the room, say hello to me. Let me know that you're here. We have a very exciting show for you tonight. I have some very special people who are near and dear to me on the panel, and we are going to have a good time like we always do every week. I did want to bring something up that, I know we like to keep things light here on Ask Alma and not really talk about things that are too serious. We want everybody to have a good time. But there is something that's kind of been tugging on my heart for the past couple of days. A couple of days ago, I watched an interview. I'm not sure if anyone here is familiar with the movie Sound of Freedom, but I watched an interview about the movie with the cast and the crew. And this movie actually came out on July 4th, so I knew about it for a few weeks. But because of the subject matter, it is about child trafficking. I was like, I'm not going to go see this movie. It's too heavy. That's too deep. I like to go ahead and, if in my free time, if I'm going to watch any movie, it's going to be something that's going to be lighthearted. That's a feel-good movie. But when the cast and crew of this movie, hi, Mom. When the cast and crew of this movie was doing this interview, I felt so compelled to get tickets to see the movie. I haven't seen it yet. I actually got my tickets today, and I'm going to see it tomorrow. They were talking about how difficult it was to actually make the movie. The movie started filming in 2018. It was done for 3 years before it was actually released. And it's based on a true story of a federal agent who was trying to rescue kids, but because of a whole bunch of red tape, he was unable to. He actually managed to rescue a child and was trying to go back to rescue the child's brother, but because of all of this red tape and bureaucracy, he wasn't able to. And he ends up actually walking away from his job to rescue these children. And I just want to encourage anybody who can to please see this movie. It's been a challenge for the people who are a part of the movie, the cast, the crew, to actually get the movie out to us. There's been all kinds of stories on social media where people are saying they bought tickets to the movies and the tickets just got refunded back to them, all kinds of things that have happened. But I want to do my part and see the movie, and I want to encourage our viewers here to see the movie if you haven't already, and to, become more aware of this issue, because it's an issue that plagues every race, every socioeconomic background, and it's so pervasive in our communities, and I think it's something that we definitely need to do something about. So if you have a free time, please take your friends, your family to see Sound of Freedom. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and bring in my panel. Hey, Miss D.
Hey there, Courtney. How are you?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you.
I was gonna say, I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Yeah, it's been a lot going on, but I'm here for you now.
Hey, Leah.
Court.
Hey,
What up? What up?
Javon.
Hey, Miss Sharon, how you doing? Good
Miss
evening.
Sharon is in the house, y'all.
Okay, so what's been new, Miss D? I haven't seen you in forever. I feel like it's been an eternity.
I had to do a little bit of traveling. I had to do a little bit of moving. I had a lot going on, and I can't. There's some good things happening, but I can't talk about them yet. So when I can talk about them, I will share them with you.
You could talk about them like backstage after the
Well,
show.
I was about to say that.
Yeah,
I can whisper it to you. I just can't tell the masses until some other things are in place. But I'll be happy to share with you later. So that's why you haven't seen me.
Have you guys heard about this movie, Sound of Freedom? Are you familiar?
No, that's what I was going to ask you. Is it silent or sound?
Sound
of Freedom.
I googled it while you were talking, and I was like, I think I heard a little bit about it, but hadn't really, with summer months and just being busy, I hadn't really thought about it. But I was looking to see if it was playing anywhere near me. If there was any theaters near me that had it.
That's been one of the issues too that they were saying. I mean, with all the things, like I think one of the bigger issues that they were having was, well, for one, getting the film out. That's like the biggest issue. They had issues from the time they started filming to the end. But a movie theater chain that I won't name, there are people on social media saying that when they buy tickets for this movie, they'll go online and try to purchase the tickets, and it'll say the show is sold out or close to being sold out, and then they get to the theater and there's like 8 people in there.
Oh wow! Or, that's not uncommon practice where we used to see that a lot. Where they would say make sure you have the ticket that matches the movie you want to see, because it boosts sales for other movies. Like if there was something that they didn't want to appear popular, they would sell different ticket to.
Oh wow!
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it's not just that. People are saying that they were just getting the tickets refunded to them out of nowhere, and they would go to the theater, and the theater would say, "Oh, our AC is broken." But the AC is working everywhere else, in the front, in the other theaters. So
that was one. You're saying that was a one theater corporation that was doing that. Okay.
I don't want to name them. Y'all can Google it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Right. Yeah.
So it's probably in select theaters. Is that what you're saying? More than likely.
They're saying that it's in select theaters. I know it's playing near me. I bought my tickets, and even with all of that,
I'm gonna look at it when I get off.
It's grossed over $150 million, but with all of the different things that people are saying and trying to go see it and having difficulty seeing it, imagine how much more it would gross or how much more you know about it if it wasn't being blocked. I don't know. I'm trying to find the right word.
And trafficking is real. Like trafficking is real, like real. People don't understand that. Like it's not a movie. You know what I mean? Like they made a movie. Well, you know what I mean when I'm saying like it's not a movie. Like
this is based on a true story.
I know. So that's why I want to go see it. Like I think more people should go see it.
Right. So one of the things that one of the co-stars is saying that people think of trafficking as something that, especially child trafficking, that's happening somewhere else.
Third world countries, not here where our kids are supposed to be safe.
It's right up under our nose.
Right. Even though the movie takes place mostly overseas, one of the points that they were making is that the United States is the #1 consumer of materials that feature child exploitation. It's an over $1 billion industry, and we're not talking about in conjunction with adult videos, just on its own. And they were saying that you think it's somewhere over here or you think it's somewhere over there, but it's probably in the house behind you that it's happening. So, if you can raise awareness about it or see the movie, that's good. But also, our communities need to be a community. We need to be paying attention to the things.
Absolutely.
And know your neighbors, know the children in your neighborhood. Keep your eyes open, because everybody is like, oh, it's so sad. And then they go on with their lives until it's their child, or grandchild, niece or nephew. So we need to protect all the children, all the babies.
Yes, all of them. I'm surprised. I looked up, I'm in a relatively small town, and I looked up and all of my movie theaters have it.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
All of the main chains and some of the
private theaters have it. Come on, Waldorf.
Well, you have so many places that you can go outside of Waldorf to see it too. Yeah.
It is. Come on, DMV. Let me say that. Come on, DMV.
No, you know the DMV is somewhere.
Yes,
somewhere,
right? Somewhere.
Yes. So please, if you're watching, please go see it. Please support it. Tell your friends to support it.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Right. And Javon, you've been quiet. What's going on with you?
Not much. I've been chilling. I appreciate the invite.
I thought you said I've been stealing, and I was going to say, stealing what? Did he say that?
No, that's a former life. Hold on, that's a former life. Bring it up no more.
I'm telling all your business, right?
Look, that was the old him. That was the old
him. Got the
God
new
working on me,
right?
So
yeah, he not.
What is it that Steve Harvey says? He said he ain't finished with me yet. He's like, I'm finished with me yet.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm sorry, you said you were chilling.
Yeah.
Chilling,
okay.
And can I say, I've watched this show before, y'all. I've never heard the theme song. That is a bop. Like I've never, because whenever I come in, y'all already started. This is the first time I'm here at the start, at the beginning. I heard the theme song. I was like, okay.
The theme song was written
by my cousin,
sung, recorded by Alma's first cousin, Tracy Arrington. She's usually on the show, but she did all of the parts.
Yeah, she did.
And recorded it and just sent it to her.
That's what's up. Yeah, because I was bopping my head to that. I was like, this is nice.
Yeah, Tracy. I didn't see her pop on yet, but yeah, Tracy is a regular and is an incredible singer. She was the Air Force. She sang with the Air Force.
May she
okay.
So they may be
having
it was her sister's
together.
birthday. So they may be she may be with Aunt Tony.
Okay.
Yeah, so that may be that because normally she's on here though, Javon, like comment and everything. Yeah,
yeah, but she did it all. She did the whole, all of it, produced it, everything, and then sent it to her.
It missed me, Javon. I just got the good-looking jeans because I
can't sing.
I mean, they're all cute, so we're all cute, but I didn't get to sing.
Everybody has a talent,
right?
It's just not singing.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say here that we are here to offer our advice, our wisdom, but we are not medical professionals, okay? So, finish your questions at alwaysask.alma@gmail.com. But we aren't medical professionals. We're just very wise people who give very good advice, So with that, I wanted to go ahead and run our disclaimer.
All materials and information presented on this episode of Ask Alma are for general information and entertainment purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not represent the views or opinions of the National Newspaper Publishers Association.
Okay, so are you guys ready for question one?
Yes. Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and run that question.
Dear Alma, I was dating a woman for close to a year. We were in tune in every way, physically, mentally, and emotionally. We always had the best times when we were together, laughing and just vibing. I thought we were so close, then she broke up with me via text. I was heartbroken. I tried to move on, but I just couldn't. I finally reached out to her, and she said she broke up with me because she recently got saved. And she didn't think I would want to accept us not being intimate. She said that she loves me, but that she's not willing to compromise her beliefs. I love her, and I want things to work out, but I'm still very hurt by how she broke things off with me. Also, I'm not sure if I'm willing to be in a relationship without physical intimacy. Can you please give me some advice? I don't want to lose her, but I do miss her and that part of our relationship. Please help.
Oh, so we get that animation. He looked like he's saved. He looked like Bishop. I can't even think of a name.
Bishop.
You say Bishop.
Bishop, that's it.
Bishop does it, right?
Obama.
Bishop
Obama.
Bishop.
All right, so I'm just going to do a quick little recap, run that back. So he has been dating a woman for close to a year. He thought everything was all good. They're super in love. They were in tune, kind of like his soulmate. And then she broke up with him via a text message. So he's heartbroken, he's sad, he doesn't know what's going on. He finally reaches out to her after some time, and she tells him that the reason why she broke it off with him was because she got saved, and she didn't think that he would be able to handle them not being intimate anymore. He wants to be back with her, he wants to work things out, but he's used to the intimacy, and he doesn't want to not have that anymore. He doesn't know if it's something that he can handle. So he's wondering, what should he do? And because Javon is the man on the panel, we're going to start with you, sir. What do you think he should do? No shaking your head. No shaking your head. No shaking your head.
Ah, man. Run? Yeah.
Well, at least you kept it real, Javon. At least you kept it real.
Right. Okay. First off, she broke up with him with a text message. That right there, that is already problematic. Love for real. You don't do nothing like that. So nah. Off, but he shouldn't even want to be with her no more for real. Then the whole, all right, not having intimacy thing. Okay, that if you can get past that, okay, go for it. But the fact that she just walked away so easily through a text message and everything like that, and didn't give him the chance to like talk to him about it,
right? And
then they communicate. And just give him that choice.
Text me back though, Javon. How about texting me back?
Right. Like, well, I mean,
this is okay.
No. See, she chose an excuse that he could not argue with.
Right.
Like if she said anything else, he could have said, but this. She said, well, I got saved. Well, she didn't get saved overnight. So it had to be some kind of process. And if they were this close, they were both going to church together, or there was something that was happening along this entire year. So I got saved. Let me just text you and say goodbye. I'm with Javon. He needs to run. He needs to move on. Because she could have given him the opportunity to come along with her. I'm getting saved. Come get saved with me. Okay, let's get married. Let's any of those things.
On the same page. We're gonna be on the same page.
Okay, y'all go ahead and be on that page. Go ahead.
Maybe just a little bit, because I always think outside the box. But what if he was the ratchet boyfriend? You know what I mean? And she turned her life around. What if I am a texter? And I understand what you're saying, Javon, but I am a texter. So a couple of my friendships or a couple of things have ended with the text. Now, I have also received the text back like, what did you mean? You know what I mean? And people say that text messages are so impersonal. For me, sometimes, and they are, but for me, I don't feel like that. I feel like when I'm sending the text because I know that it's genuine and I know that it may come off wrong, but I don't know about the whole texting thing. I could probably get over that because maybe.
She went away.
All right, so let me just read some of the comments.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, so no, that's what I was getting to. Now the whole save thing, D, I think that she may have been in the process of being saved. How we don't know she didn't tell him that already.
We don't.
And he didn't want to get on board.
Absolutely right. We don't. And he didn't.
You know what
I
mean?
Be
like
on board.
maybe he didn't. She gave him a try.
Right. Okay. I can agree with that. My issue is the texting, and that really is an issue for me, and for personal reasons.
That was Javon's though.
But you don't. If we are in an intimate relationship, we should be having conversations. You text your insurance man. You text your coworker. You don't text your soulmate, love person, spouse, boyfriend, whatever.
He said that. He said now, we just going by what he said. He said he feel like that. Maybe she love him, but she don't feel like that. But let me just read some of the comments. So
that's what I was gonna say. Go back to Sharon's because Sharon said she in the cult.
She might be in the cult.
And she would have had to get rid of him if that was the case.
Right.
My mom said put a ring on it and join the church. And that's the thing too. That was one of the points that I was trying to make, because he's making it seem like they could never be intimate again. When a person is saved, they have a condition, they have a standard.
Right.
Put a ring on it. And
Mary Lou's joined us. Hi, Mary Lou.
Hey. And then Erica also said, good point, Deidre, but he wasn't going to be on the same page as her, so.
Perhaps, perhaps not. But
and that's
even
what I think I may agree with. Yeah, like I may agree with that with Javon. Like run in that aspect. Like I do get that because she did take a while. Where did you go? But once again, how we don't know he didn't fall back.
And that's the thing too. Sometimes, I can't. What people being saved is something that's objective. So while some people it may be a process, sometimes especially if you go to church, what they call that a rhema word. You hear a word from the bishop or the preacher, and it's like, wait a minute, I need to get it together. So she may be feeling like maybe she thought that she was saved, or maybe she thought, I could do this, and now she feels more like she wants to dedicate herself in a deeper way that she knows that he's not going to. And we're only hearing his side of the story. We really don't know.
And there are always two sides. Two sides in the truth. But my problem isn't whether she got saved in a moment or in a month, or whether he thought that they had more than she thought. The problem is that she texted him to break up with him, and then ghosted him.
That is a problem.
That is not.
Hold on. I was going to say that is a problem. But, and I'm not making an excuse, because if you're being intimate with somebody, you're super close to them, whether she felt like it was a soulmate or not, obviously they felt deeply for each other, right? You should give them that respect of having a conversation. But I also think that because I'm also a person who's sensitive, and I don't like confrontation. So for me, something like that is, and what if she would have saw him and fell right back in? Because sometimes you make a commitment to say, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then you see that somebody, and next thing you know what happens. I can't even say what happens.
But that's all part of being an adult. We all probably have had circumstances where we go, I'm not doing him no more. He's done, I'm out. And then you run into him and you ain't out. We all know that has happened. But you still, if we're in any kind of relationship, I'm entitled to you having a conversation with me. Especially a year, like if you had met for a couple of weeks, even a couple of months, and like she disappeared, we'd be like, okay, but not a year.
She sent the text though, D. So she did say something.
No.
But my thing is, okay, I know you said that we're all adults. We're all adults, and we've all gone through that. But if you're a person who's a believer, right? You don't, and you feel strongly about being intimate with someone before marriage, that's not something you're willing to risk or chance. So it might be better for you to just be like, look, as much as it hurts, I can't see you anymore. And this is how I have to do it.
We agree. That's absolutely what should have happened. I am committing to my faith and my belief, so I cannot be intimate with you anymore. Please leave my house. Not texting me. No,
don't sit there and lie.
No, texting is tired, it's immature, and as an adult, that should not happen.
She cooking. She right.
If you're in the house with the man and you saying, I just can't do this, leave my house. But this is but he look at you and he be like, but I love you, and I'm gonna put a ring on it. I'm gonna marry you.
When you're done, you're done. It's not when you are done, you're done. He could be standing there.
But who's to say she was done?
It doesn't matter. You don't text.
Jesus said that. That's why she didn't say. Jesus said, "You are done, ma'am, with him." That's why she texted him.
But just sometimes, Jesus say a lot of things, and you be like, "Okay, Jesus, but
Jesus didn't say, I want your soul, my sister, so go home and text your man and tell him you can't be with him no more."
Jesus said, flee from sin. Flee means flee. However you got to do it.
Right.
So, if flee is, you going to send a text message. If flee is, I'm never going to talk to you.
No, I think we can see it both ways, D. No. So we're not agreeing with the text. I do agree with you, even though I am a texter. So I can agree with you on she
But
didn't
you
have
don't
to send a
handle
text.
business through a text. Things that are important, you do not text about. I know that about you. There might be some things you're gonna text about, or some friend that you ain't seen in 10 years and they ain't show up for lunch. You been like, thanks for showing, thanks for standing me up. Adios. But something that is meaningful and important to you, you are not sending a text. You're going to have, it might even not even be a in-person conversation. You might be on the phone, but you're not texting that person.
And that's the point I was getting to. Maybe it wasn't that more important to her. So like Javon said, run. Because like I keep saying,
she wasn't feeling for him what he was feeling for her. So he needs to just go ahead and bounce.
So as the person on the panel, now we got to come to a general consensus. And as a person on the panel I'm not a direct person. I could be direct on here because it's not my problems. I'm talking about other people's problems. But I know how I am. I don't like conflict. But you are a direct person. Leah seems to be a direct person. I've known Javon for a while. He's direct-ish. But for
direct-ish, I'll take that.
Yeah, he's direct-ish. Like he'll tell you what he thinks when it really counts. You're not going to be wondering. I'll put it that way.
Right.
But we want to get to a general consensus here. So
we don't have to concede. Like we can you can decide that text message is okay, and me and Javon will say under no circumstance are you. No, it's all right. I mean, it's not. But I think we all agreed that it was all of it is a little messy.
Yeah,
all of it's a little messy.
We all agree with that.
And because we don't know, because we don't have background, we don't know. We just know that he said he was really into her, and then she ghosted him. So we know that.
Well, see, that's the thing too. I don't think that she completely ghosted him because at the end of the question, he said that he was going to work things out, or that she said she still loves him, but that his issue was he doesn't know if he can continue the relationship without intimacy.
Right.
So it sounds like they made some kind of reconciliation. But that she said, well, this is where I'm at. This is my standard. And he's like, well, he wants to be with her, but he doesn't know if he could be in a relationship with no intimacy. So with that's something you really have to kind of decide on your own.
Pray about it.
Right.
Like she's saved, so she should already be praying, and he should start praying.
Right, because to me, I feel like this. If you're trying to reconcile with somebody, you're saying that you love them, and he's heard about the text message, which is something that you're going to have to decide whether or not you could deal with that. If you could get past it and maybe say, look, next time we need to communicate. You cannot break up with me via text message. If we have a problem, then we need to talk. But as far as the intimacy part, you have to decide if you're ready to marry this woman, because that's what it's going to cost.
Right.
So I wonder if they had intimacy before.
Yeah.
Were they intimate before?
Yes, he said they were connected physically, spiritually, and mentally. It was all like working out.
So then so now it comes to question like, does he really want to be in that relationship then? Because if he does love her, he can wait. Because he's already had it. So he knows, you know what I mean? Like,
and it sounds to me like she got that holler back. When Jesus put his stamp of approval, that holler back gonna be holler back, and so you might as well
I agree with some other going up the church.
But what we don't want, what would be unfortunate would be for him to rush into marriage because that's the solution to this problem, only to find out that they're still not compatible.
And
for whatever reason.
He knew if they were compatible, though.
Say it again.
He knows that they're compatible.
Oh no, you don't know.
No. That's why he should run.
The boyfriend compatible and the husband compatible are two different things.
Let me tell you something, and I will speak from that. Being young,
let me read some of the comments, Lee, real quick. All right, so
Mary Lou said he tasted the apple. He wants more apple,
and he should be fine with that. That's what I'm saying. Right. I think he should wait or try it.
He does want the intimacy. He does know he wants intimacy. Mary Lou also said that. Miss Sharon said yes, he loves her. He will go without sex as long as she wants to, and
Or he'll go get it somewhere else. And that is a whole nother.
Well, in that case, then he should just leave her alone and she should leave him alone.
Yeah,
like,
let it go.
Right.
I think he should try the church thing. If you're listening out there, I do agree with the text, even though, it is a little impersonal. But I do think maybe you should try going to church with her. Or Bible study starts small.
And we don't even know that he doesn't go. We just know
we don't know that
this
exactly.
Moment,
but if you're not,
moment,
I'm just saying,
yeah,
because now she's saying she's saved. Like, won't you try? Because you know what the other side is. Y'all were already on the other side of not being saved if he's not saved. So I guess it's worth a try because he loves her.
And you already know she got that holler back. You said y'all wasn't tuned. That's a nice way of saying, look, she got that holler back.
Listen, he was okay with the text, y'all. He was okay with the text.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
I think he was until he got to till she said that no intimacy. Well, he might would have been okay with that text if she was still letting him get a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I thought that was whack, but
yes.
All right,
so text me like that, like.
So I think the general consensus here is that we all agree the text message was whack. So work on the communication with her if you're going to stay with her, and you need to decide for yourself. Are you willing to put a ring on it? Because it ain't like she's never going to do it with you again. That's the standard. So if you're willing to put a ring on it, then pursue. If not, then find you somebody who's willing to do what you do.
Period.
Cry a little tears, get over it, but then find you somebody
who's not going to text you. Goodbye.
Who gonna let you do you?
That would be a deal breaker.
Larry said that's why she only gave him a taste.
And that taste was just enough that he's thinking about getting saved.
But they were together a year. I'm sure he had plenty buffet. I mean, I don't think he just got a taste.
Well, I mean, a year. If you think about the rest of your life. That's the thing.
You're not thinking about the rest of your life in a year of dating. You're thinking about that year.
But when he's old and on his deathbed, he's going to say, Lord, I remember that taste. Anyway, let's go on to question 2.
Yes, let's go on to question 2.
Dear Alma, I'm a soon-to-be 40-year-old woman. I'm educated and gainfully employed. I have a full social life, and I travel at least twice a year. However, I am unmarried and have no children. Although I have a pretty decent job, I thought I'd be further along than I am right now. I've never been in a loving relationship. I've dated and tried my best to be loving and supportive to the men in my life, but they never want to commit. I've watched most, if not all of my friends settle down and have babies, and I'm wondering if it's ever going to be my turn. Please help me, Alma. What can I do to change my love life?
I'm crying because Miss Sharon said, about to join the call.
I saw that.
All right, we're moving on from that question. So I'm going to run back this last question that we had. So she says that she is a soon-to-be 40-year-old woman. She has a pretty full life. She's gainfully employed. She has a full social life, and she travels at least twice a year. But she is unmarried and has no children. She said she's never really been in a loving relationship. She's dated and she's had men in her life, but she's tried to be loving and supportive to the men in her life, but they never want to commit. So now she's watching, her friends get married. A lot of them have got married. They have babies, and she's wondering if it's ever going to be her turn. And she wants to know if we have any pointers on how she can land her man.
I think land a man is not, that's a fairy tale. Like, they don't just drop out of the sky. They're not going to come knock on the door. It sounds like she has spent most of her adult life, living the dream. She has this great job. She travels. She does all these things that we're supposed to do as independent women and what have you. And she's not really given the same kind of time and energy to meeting and nurturing a relationship. She is going to draw men who want her for all of those things, which is not going to be loving. So she's like, oh, I'm sure she's a prize. She's a 40-year-old, almost 40-year-old woman with no children and travels and has her own money and all that kind of stuff. She's going to attract people who want to be a part of that and not necessarily part of the other thing that she wants. So I think she has to decide that she wants, really manifest that she wants to have a man or a husband and children and all those things, and those things will come to her. But she might have to not travel twice a year. She might have to, she might, not have to work 50 hours a week. She might not have to do those things.
The producer said that it's the same woman from the last question. She just got saved and
I can see that.
What do you want to say, Leah? Because you raising your hand.
I was going to say, I think she needs to check herself. She may need to, excuse me, take a step back and look in the mirror. No, excuse me, y'all. My grandson is here. I'm so sorry.
He said he got a comment.
So no, I think she needs to check herself almost. Because at 40, if you've done all these things, at 40, if you've watched your friends, you've been to plenty weddings, you're traveling 2 times a year, so you ain't met nobody out of the country, at least.
Well, she didn't say that she didn't meet anybody. She just said that they haven't committed to her. She doesn't know why.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm getting to. Sorry. That's what I was getting to. Like, do she not think it's something within her? Like her friends' husbands don't have a friend or a cousin, right, or like anybody for this 40-year-old, no kid, want to travel 2 times a year. Like Dee said, she's so perfect on paper. But it's what's missing that nobody wants to commit? Like, it's something else she's not telling us.
Mary Lou says she is probably hard to please. Javon, you've been quiet. Come on. What's your opinion?
Quiet because I'm being nice.
No, be real.
Nice.
Come on, Javon. Don't be nice.
All right. Is she cute? Because I heard everything but looks.
Well, and relative.
Looks play a part.
Yeah, but it's relative. You can everybody. There's a pot. What is it? There's a lid for every pot. You might not be attracted to they may not be attractive to you, but they could be attractive to other people. So she should still have been able to attract someone. Maybe that's her question. Maybe that's her question. Her question is he cute? Does he make this much money? Does he travel too? Does he not have, at 40, trying to find somebody that may not have children is slim to none.
I don't know that that's the issue. I just think she wants to have children of her own because it's unrealistic.
I know, but I'm saying that if she has all of this, if she has this list of expectations for what the man has to have and has to be and all of that, then at this point she's not going to probably find that dude.
Well, I remember I was watching I think it might have been Good Morning America. Can I say that? I guess I can. It might have been Good Morning America, and they had an expert on the show. I guess some sort of, how they have dating experts, life coaches or whatever. And one of the things that they said is that women, especially women of this generation, this time, younger women or whatever, probably people around that age, mid to late 30s, we put so much emphasis on our career, having money, like with all the things she said that she already has. And that if you're a person who wants to have a family, you have to put that much effort into doing that.
Right.
We put so much effort into going to get our education, having a good job, being career oriented, that we don't think that we're supposed to put effort into dating. So then you have all of these, accolades, you're able to do all of these things, but when you get home and turn a key in the door, there ain't nobody there waiting for you.
Right.
And now you're at an age where you don't even know if it's going to be possible. 40 or pushing 40, even if you get pregnant, it's harder to get pregnant, and it's going to be hard for you more than likely. Not saying it's always the case. Of course, there's other things, IVF, surrogacy, all that stuff. But if you want to have your own child naturally, it's going to be harder for you. So I think maybe that might be part of it too. And I also think it's a lot of what Ms. B said, because you look good on paper, you have all of these things, then you have all of these high standards.
Right.
And also,
or unreasonable standards. They may not even be high. They just may be unreasonable for the pool of people that you would even come in contact with.
Right. And also too, I also think this is another issue that a lot of times people, namely women, but people do not, when they're dating, they do not say off the rip what they want. So when you go out on a date with somebody, I think the first date, it doesn't mean that I want this with you, but this is what I want.
Right.
I want to settle down. I'm looking for this. Are you looking for that? If you're not.
Or we don't see really I can't speak to this personally, but people don't date. They meet a guy, he seems like a nice guy, they commit to that guy, and a year later we're like, okay, he's not the guy. Like, we should be serial dating. You should date somebody different every day. There's a difference between being intimate with somebody and dating someone.
Right.
And if she was dating, because she has the free time and she has the money. So if she was dating regularly, she would meet people who may fit into, what she is looking for in a man. I think one of the other things, particularly for women, that's a problem is we have other females around us that want to determine what kind of man we're supposed to have. Like what is that? It was why did I get married? Daddy's Little Girl. When Gabrielle Union's character meets the limo driver, and all of her friends are like just tripping because he drives the limo, like not considering that he's gonna own the mechanic company, he's gonna own the limo service, he's gonna make as much money as their husbands do going into an office every day. But my circle, but sometimes you get, you dating what they call them now, not trash truck drivers, they got a name for them, waste engineers, whatever they call them, like
waste management.
Right. A waste management person is bringing in considerable amount of money, and he's home at 4:00.
Hello.
So that's the dude you want. You don't want the dude that has to work 12 hours. And if you both have some kind of compatibility, that's what you should have. But we kind of get caught up in, I have my MBA, so my husband has to have an MBA.
Now, that's what I was going to get to. I don't think she has that issue, guys. And I may be looking too much into it because I think she has a good group of friends, like a core group, you know what I mean, that have ventured off, that has gotten married. If she's traveling 2 times a year, she's making this amount of money. I'm pretty sure she's around enough people or enough men that.
And who is she traveling with?
Yeah, that is making that amount of money. You know what I mean? Because I know where she's traveling. You know what I mean? Like she's probably above here. So where she's going, excuse me, I know she's rubbing elbows with these men, like brushing up against and networking with these people. My question is, once again, because all of us are still saying the same thing that I'm saying, like she may need to really take a step back and look at herself. Because if you are amongst all these people or this man, it may be that 140-year-old man. Like she's that 140-year-old woman. But then my thing is now, I think as a man, why would you want to have kids now at 40? When are you going to have time? How do we know that the men are not feeling like that against her? You know what I mean? Like, because it's like now you're 40 and you want kids, but you want to sit up here and tell me you travel. You love to travel. You love to do this.
Well, your children can travel with you.
When would she actually have taken time? Like she could have started kids 5 years ago.
Well, and that's
if she wanted to. You know what I mean? So now is she trying to live up to what everybody else is saying? Like you were saying, some people try to live up to the hype or don't live up to the hype. Because now it's like, do you really want to have kids, lady? Or are you looking around and just seeing everyone being married? Maybe it's not for you. I have a girlfriend like that. She doesn't want any kids and she does not want to be married. She shows up to all the kids' birthday parties and she comes to everybody's wedding. It's just not for her. And
but she didn't say that though. And usually when women don't want to be married, they know they don't.
Yeah, no, so that's
what I'm about that, right?
Like Dee was saying, like, so are you just trying to keep up? Because I'm trying to figure out like what would be her mindset now at 40. Like it's never too late to have kids. I don't want anybody, out there in the world.
You're saying now at 40, this could have always been the thing, and it just never happened.
She's starting to feel the clock. It's starting to tick a lot louder than it did when she was 30, right?
Because sometimes
I don't know, ladies.
Sometimes people
and gentlemen
are looking for the perfect situation. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're with somebody but they want it to be like this and like that before they have kids. They know they want to have children, but as time is going on and they're trying to secure this and secure that, time is going on.
Right.
And like I was saying, but you were talking, so I didn't even talk over you. Do what men do. Get you somebody younger. He ain't got to be 40.
Right.
Maybe he can't be 35.
5-year-old. If that's the thing, like go
right.
undo, because it got to be at this point. If she's sitting there saying she's going on all these dates and traveling and everything, it's something you doing that's pushing these men away. Because we easy. Like you got money, you got a career, you got a house, car, baby. We moving.
I was waiting for somebody to say that. That's what I was feeling, Javon. Like it's like she has everything. She has everything that make a dude will want to get right.
Right.
He wants to stand next to this girl. So that's what I'm saying. Like she may need to really check herself.
Right.
Or go with the other girl in the other question and go get saved. Maybe she needs somebody at church. She needs to stop traveling and go to church.
Does she have any male best friend? That's what she need to see. If she has a male best friend, she need to ask him, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong? What do you see as a dude on the outside?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because I have a very, very, very good male friend. And he has never introduced me to anybody because he doesn't really think that anybody he knows is worthy.
See? Yeah.
Now that has two sides to it. Maybe he doesn't think anybody's worthy because he
thinks he's the one that's worthy.
Right, he's the one that's worthy.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say because a lot of times, a man was very honest with me about this. One man, a man does not want to be your best friend.
Right.
If he's your best friend, he's your best friend, hoping that he has a chance. So half the time, the man ain't gonna tell you how it's gonna work out with some other man. Because you don't want it to work out with another man.
Free, but okay.
I disagree with that.
I disagree with that one.
Okay, well, I
got too many female best friends that I ain't trying.
I was gonna say I have one male best friend, and no, he's actually my friend.
Okay, let me read some of the comments. So Ms. Sharon said she may be intimidating to the men. Mary Lou said, how come her friends are not setting her up? And Sharon said, you can't have it all. So I guess that was in response to, saying date someone younger. And I think that was Tina.
If she's going to all those weddings, let me tell you, weddings is like, people say don't take a date to a wedding because it's like taking sand to the beach. Mm-hmm. Everybody's in all kinds of loving mood and happy and whatever. So she should be able, especially if she's in them, she should be able to meet. She should be able.
He probably is hard to please, Mary Lou. Yeah. I agree with that.
And at that age, she's probably very set in how she does things, and that can also be, a deterrent for people who want to get to know her. Guy says, "I want to take you out. Let's go out at 9:00." Oh, I can't eat after 9:00.
Miss Sharon said, "I at the all-black doctor conference. I didn't bring no doctor home."
Were you looking for one, Miss Sharon? Were you looking for one though? That's the question.
Yes, and a doctor may not be what you want because they ain't never home.
They never home.
On call. Yeah, I don't know if that's what you want. No, she said no. Okay then. All right. So just to wrap it up, what are we telling her? To maybe expand her horizons, be a little open.
Look inwardly and see what it is that is preventing
Check yourself.
her. I was trying to be polite. Like check yourself. Period.
Yourself. No, what was the song? Yeah. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Sometimes you have to check yourself, and a lot of people don't like to do that. It was hard for me, and I don't mean relationship wise, but in some other areas of my life. Right. Sometimes you have to check your own vibes, right, Miss Mary Lou? Like you really do. Sometimes you have to step back and be like, I did it. Like it may be me.
And I also want to say too that one of the things, and I agree with what everyone is saying here, but one of the things is that people have this kind of milestone thing where if you don't have this by this, then something's wrong with you. Look, things happen when they happen. Don't start beating yourself up because you're at a certain age.
And that's very common for women. It's probably worse for women than men because men can have kids until we put them in the ground. So there's no ticking clock. There's none of that for them. But for women, there's an expectation. There's certain things that are supposed to happen by a certain time, and if they don't, then there's something wrong. They even have a word for it. It's like old maid. If you don't have a man, if you don't have a husband by a certain age, they got titles for all kinds of things. You're barren.
It's an old maid.
Certain age. Your old maid.
Yeah. But I also just wanted to say and be open. Don't think that everything has to go one way. There are so many children out here who don't have a home. There are people who are pregnant and do not want to raise a child.
Right.
You might want to look into adoption. It's if it means that much to you to have children. I know a lot of times people are like, well, I want to have my own child. But sometimes you have to, if it's really important to you to be a parent, you might have to think outside the box on that.
Right.
You definitely need to think outside the box on dating. So
I'm telling you, because you will grow to love that child like you birthed them. Trust me. You will.
Okay, so we don't have that much time left. I just want to see if we could squeeze one more question in.
Come on, we'll do it. We got it.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Dear Alma, I hope you can help me. I've had a difficult relationship with my mother for a very long time. I am an only child, so it's always been just the two of us. She is a very negative person who is always complaining about everything. She is always very judgmental, and when I've gone to her for advice, she makes bitter remarks about me and the decisions that I make, when all I really want is for her to be loving and understanding. Recently, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Luckily, it was caught in the early stages, and it seems she will make a full recovery. Unfortunately, she has been hitting me up for money on a consistent basis. For a while, I was struggling financially, and I'm just starting to get back on track. I can probably help her out, but I can't help the feelings of resentment I have about the way that she's been and how unsupportive she is when I'm facing my own challenges. Do I owe it to her to help her financially when I'm facing my own challenges and trying to get my finances back in order? Am I wrong to be hurt by her needing me, although I don't feel that she was ever there for me? Please help me.
I was just sent a quote or a meme or something that said, "The way you talk to children becomes their inner voice." So if you
wow, that person sounds so familiar. It's just, I wonder who that is.
The way you talk to children becomes their inner voice. So now she is an adult, feeling just not loved by her mother, and of course she would have resentment for her now needing her.
Well, let me just recap.
Okay, I'm sorry. It just made me think of that when I heard her say that.
I just saw the guys from He Said jump in to the chat. So hey guys, they have a whole question. So she's saying that she's an only child. It's always been just her and her mom, and that pretty much her mother has not been the most supportive. When she's looking to her mom for advice and she's having her own challenges, the mom's been bitter. Kind of doesn't feel the love from her. And now her mom has been diagnosed with breast cancer. It's in the early stages, so they think the mother is going to make a full recovery, but now she's hitting her up for money all the time. And she is just kind of getting herself back on track from having some financial difficulties, and she can't help feeling resentment because she doesn't feel like her mother was really there for her. And also because she's having her own issues where she's trying to get her money back in order. Should she help her mother, and is she wrong to feel the way that she feels?
I think she should help.
That's it? There's no more? No contact? No.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me because I'm just that type of person.
That is the spirit of Carolyn Martin talking.
Yes. I think I don't know. And I feel maybe that's what it is. Like Dee just said, I don't know any other way. So I think that I would just chalk it up. I don't mean to sound mean, but she won't be here for long. You know what I mean? Like,
well, Ms. Sharon said, feel the way you feel and still help your mother, because at the end of the day, you love your mother and your mother loves you. If you were in the same predicament, she would probably help you. And Erica said, I think she should help as much as she can without going backwards herself.
Hey, E.
Yeah, I think that's the difference is she shouldn't put herself in dire straits to support her mother, but if she can help your mother no matter what has gone on in the past, mom is not going to always be here, and it's just money.
And you know what?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we have to recognize that, trauma is trauma. And if you're mistreated as a child, we shouldn't minimize her feeling about not wanting to help her.
And I'm not.
Whether she decides to help her or not is different than her feeling resentment and feeling a certain way about the fact that now her mother needs her, and she's, is she treating her nice now? We don't know. But I think she has to resolve that feeling as well. I think she can't just like throw money at her and then not pay attention to the emotion that's attached to it.
Mm-hmm. What do you say, Javon?
Hold on, Javon. Let me say this real quick. Send her a text. Send her a text, Javon. That's what I'm saying. Send her a text. I love you, Mom, but listen.
Facts.
Okay, and I think this is Isharel. While this is my topic this week on Facebook, listen, you hit the bricks with your mother. Ms. Sharon said, help yourself in your mental health. You probably would be feeling bad if you didn't. And my mom said, get therapy. Mary Lou said, I hope she's not using her money as revenge. So this is what I would say. Again, no, you don't want to minimize the feelings that she has as far as feeling how she feels unloved, unsupported by her mother. I think the best thing to do, because she said that she's still trying to get her finances back on track. So for her to help her mother, I think what she should do is really work out a budget.
That's what I was going to say. Set a budget.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a good idea.
If you probably can help her out, make sure that the amount of money is the amount of money, which means, Mom, this is how much I have. I got $200, $200, however much it is that I could give you every month. I can't give you any more. I won't give you any less. If you hit me up out of the blue, I don't know that I can help you. That way you set a boundary of how much you can do. You're not feeling like you're doing something that's above and beyond, and you're not feeling, because I think she's tying in the fact that she's helping out with also feeling unsupported. Like, I'm supporting you at my own detriment, but you didn't support me when I needed you. If you set a boundary like that, whether she gets nasty, bitter, or whatever, you're setting that boundary and you're helping your mom.
Yeah.
Well, what's unfortunate is there's this disease involved in this conversation. So I'm sure that's part of why she's even asking the question. Because if her mother wasn't sick, would she even address it? Would she, but when you fold in another factor, well, my mother is sick, so I can't, I have to help her because she's sick.
Sharon said, yes, Medicaid.
But I think in the mother's heart, I'm pretty sure she's feeling the pain of what she did to the daughter. You can.
I don't know.
We don't know. It may not.
We don't know. I think that
words. But I mean, I know that she knows that she was not the best mother that she could be at this point now. Maybe they can have a conversation. Like I said, I didn't mean to say text. I was joking, but maybe that is a conversation.
I think I would text her.
With her. Yeah, when she's setting the boundaries.
Like, I think that kind of goes back to the we've heard multiple times, like, you don't you're not born a mother. You either are capable of mothering or you're not. So I don't necessarily agree that the mom is, feels bad or wishes she had been a better mom or any of those things. I think some people should not be parents. And it's not because it may be because of their own trauma, their own experiences, that they're just not capable of giving the things that people that you love need. So
I also think that sometimes people feel like, how they say if you have more than one child, sometimes you can't be the same with all of them. Like, certain children need certain things.
Right.
So this makes me think of someone I know who I wouldn't say that she's a bad mother at all, right? But her thing is, I give my kids all of this. So she made sure her kids are taken care of. She'll work really hard. But she's having an issue, not a similar issue, but an issue with her daughter, where her daughter's like, well, I needed you to be emotionally attached to me. I needed more hugs. I needed more affirmation. You didn't give it to me. So in her mind, she's like, but I did all that I could, but she's not an emotional person.
Right.
So, as somebody who I'm an emotional person, I think my mom understands that I'm an emotional person, but some people really have an issue giving affection and being supportive to a child who needs a little more of your time and attention. So that could be it too. And what she may think is bitterness and her mom being mean, her mom just might be a person who doesn't pull
Who's incapable of that kind of emotion. You're right.
She might just not pull any punches and say what she thinks. But your child feels like it's taking that like you don't love and support me. The mom's like, I am loving and supporting you. I'm telling you the truth. And
right.
Whatever the case may be.
It looks different for everybody. Yes.
That was Carolyn Martin.
She's gonna give you a lung, but she might not hug you. And that's my mom. Like my mom is not very touchy. Like we had no doubt that she loved us, but she's not touchy.
And Alma is totally opposite. Like she's going to bring you in to hug you, whether I like it or not. And I'm still like, but she has to do it.
Right.
Desharal said, so then continue to show your mom love and trust me, it will run off. Yeah. And also,
our guest host, we have run over time. We've been having a good old time here.
I just want to make this one last point. Okay. And sometimes we do have to look at the way people love. We think they don't love us because they're not loving us the way we want, but that's how they love. So
yeah.
But yes, we have gone over time.
And we love you guys.
Definitely do. We do thank you for watching the show. I thank you to my panel members for coming on. I hope you come on again. And we want you to like, share, and subscribe. And please send your questions to alwaysaskAlma@gmail.com. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. Thank you, Courtney.
Thanks, Javon.
Thank
Courtney.
you, Leah, Javon.
D.
Good night.